Hey guys, Show Andy here. So, some of you might be wondering where I've been for the past week or 5 days or so. I've mentioned this in the comments and I think in my 1000 subscriber special Q&A, but I'll just repeat it here in case you need the explanation. I've been away at a programming camp for the past 5 days or so. If any of you guys knew, well, if any of you guys heard me mention it, the reason I was away for 3 weeks, some weeks ago, was that I was at an economics camp, and I'll spare you all the details, but I definitely enjoyed this programming camp a lot more than the econ camp. I think it's partly because the subject matter was a lot more interesting. Because my macroeconomics class was fun, but that's only because my teacher was awesome, and that's 99% of the reason that I signed up for the course, because I would have had to go to one anyway. My parents wouldn't just let me stay home the whole summer. They're not like that, and I chose economics, and I felt like that was the one that would be the least of all the evils, I guess. And I guess I chose programming for the same reason, but as it turns out, I really like programming. I took a Java coding class. Before going to the camp, I had no idea how to code. I had no knowledge about coding. I knew nothing about it. This is my first exposure to it, and I have to say, I think it's awesome. I'm not sure if this is going to develop into anything. If it's going to be the new piano. Oh, move aside, piano. I'm going to be a game maker when I grow up. I'm going to not practice at all. I'm going to spend 5 hours a day coding. I don't know if it's at that point yet, but who knows? We'll see. And so, quick thing about the camp experience, just before I do what I think, before I show you guys what I think you'll be interested in based on the title of this video, whatever I decide to name it. I think another part of the reason why I enjoyed the camp more was I might have mentioned this already somewhere in a video, or maybe just in the comments or something, but I didn't really like the people at the econ camp very much. I don't really know why. I just found it really exhausting to be around them. They seemed really disingenuine. I don't know. There's not really a good explanation, but it's just being around them drained me of my energy super fast, because they were so loud all the time, and they were shouting and screaming about random stuff. And they stayed up till 6 a.m. and stuff. I don't know. The college experience trademark. Here, the age group was 14 to 17, at least for my group 3. And even though the people here were annoying in their own way, because just as an example out of countless examples, there was a guy who was screaming, firmly grasped it over and over again on the first day, and that's basically what happened the entire time. People just reciting memes, probably unironically, but it still felt nice to be around people who, share a common interest here, because every single person, even the instructors, especially the instructors, played video games, and they love video games, and it was really nice to be around people who had that same passion as I did. And my instructor actually loves Undertale, apparently, so that was really cool. That's part of the reason why I made my final project what it is, and I'll take that as my cue to show you guys. So okay, real quick, gotta switch over to this. Oh, infinite loops. We're gonna open up Eclipse Java Neon whatever thing, and okay, so I'll just read the dialogue and explain what's going on. I don't think this really needs much introduction. You can look at my code if you want, but I'll show it after I'm done, so I don't spoil anything, whatever. There's not much to spoil in this game. It's not that crazy of a game, but I'm really proud of it. I think it's not finished either. I'll show you what is finished and what's not, but I'm really happy with how it's turned out so far, and I'm gonna keep working on it, probably even after I finish this video. So, okay, let's get into it. Note: the text in this game advances one line at a time. Press enter to advance after every line. This is something that I learned from the kids sitting in front of me in the class, because one thing that did bother me about the practice games I was making was that when you wanted to print out some text, it would print it all out in a as this huge paragraph, and that didn't feel very game-like, because like in games you have to press like Z or A or whatever to advance the dialogue. So I just added that here. So you have to press Enter to load the new line, and I think that makes it feel a lot more like cool. No, I don't want to change. Go away. Anyway, okay. Bad Time Simulator version 1.0. Yup. This is what you think it's going to be. Or is it? What is my name? For convenience, we're going to go with Andy. Greetings, I am Andy. Do you wish to have a bad time? Yes or no? I'll show you what happens when you pick no afterwards, but let's go with yes. Very well. This will not end well for you, partner. Haven't guessed by now, the person speaking is Kara, Chera, Kara. However you want to pronounce it, the fallen child. I'll just refer to them as Andy for now. So yeah. Which means, guess who you're playing as? You stand in the judgment hall. Sunlight streams in through the stained glass windows. It's a beautiful day. You have 40 HP left. Andy has 100 HP left. What will you do? Yes, I know in the game Kara has 92 HP and Sans has like 1, but that wouldn't be fun now, would it? Anyway, so about how this game works. So you can see that I can choose Blue Attack, Teleport, Bone Lance, Blasters, or Bone Storm, and depending on what number I pick, it'll choose that. So I think I'll just play a practice round real quick and show you what happens. So I'm going to go with Bone Lance. You create a lance made of bone and fire it at Andy. It glances harmlessly off of the burned pan. They quickly consume an item off their pan and heal themselves. Well, they would heal themselves, but I didn't want them to be able to go over 100 HP. So, because I didn't want them to like be able to indefinitely heal and get like infinite health. So I just set like a thing where if his health goes above 100, it just instantly sets it back to 100. So we're gonna try the Blaster. You fire your Gaster Blasters at Andy. They stay back and shoot you. You both take damage. Bone Storm. You launch a storm of bones at Andy. They charge through it and slash at you. You both take damage. We're going to try to teleport away. You teleport away, an unnecessary action as Andy does not attack. You take the opportunity to heal yourself slightly. We're going to go with the Blue Attack. I'm just testing out the things to show you what happens. I'll explain in depth the inner workings of this game once I die, or if I actually manage to beat him, which I probably won't. Andy falls to the ground. They will be more vulnerable to bone attacks now. Shut up! Andy shoots at you. Your guard is down. You take increased damage. I am about to die. Create a lance of bone and fire it at Andy. Andy attempts to dodge, reducing the damage they take, but they are still injured by the blow. Fire. Oh, I'm going to win. Andy dodges, but is still caught in the blast. They take reduced damage. You fire a Gaster Blast at Andy. The blast is deflected off of the pan and strikes you. You take damage. You can feel your body fading to dust, the particles swirling in the sunlight. Your last thought is not of the world that you have doomed, but of Papyrus. So that's like a test run of the game. That might seem really simple just based on what you just saw, but I will explain how everything works now. So, you have 5 combat options, the options that are listed there. Kara has 4. Randomly selected from an array, he or she, whatever, randomly selects any of the 4 options at the beginning of every single turn. The options are Knife Slash, Gunshot, Pan Block, and Dodge. And there's a different outcome, as you might have noticed, for every single combination of the two, of your option and their option. So I'll run over these quickly. Blue Attack. This makes your Bone Lance and Bone Storm do extra damage. The extra damage is a random variable, is a random number from, I think, like 10 to 20? I know I made it really powerful. Like, the Blue Attack is the key to winning at this point. If Chara blocks or dodges, you will be able to get the Blue Attack off for free. You will not take any damage, and you'll be at a solid advantage for the rest of the fight. Can you shut up? If you get shot or slashed at when you're doing the Blue Attack, though, you will take extra damage, so it's a high-risk, high-reward thing. And it's important to note that the knife and the gun do different amounts of damage. The knife is capable of dealing, I think, 10 to 15 damage, and the 10 through 15, a random number from 10 through 15, and the gun does a random number from 5 to 15, so they can both do the same amount of max damage, but the knife is more reliable, so yeah. If you teleport and Chara tries to stab you or slash you with the knife, you will teleport out of the way, but nothing will happen, like it's basically a wasted turn. If you teleport away and Chara shoots you, you will take extra damage because you're teleporting, and like you can't teleport away from someone with a gun. You can teleport wherever you want in the hall, he's just going to shoot you, right? And but if you teleport when he dodges or he blocks, you will be able to take the time to heal because you are not trying to dodge or anything. You're just getting a little breather, right? Bone Lance is the first defensive move. If Chara tries to stab you when you use the Bone Lance, they will impale themselves on the lance and they will take extra damage. They will still hit you and you will take regular damage, but it's a good trade-off. If they shoot you, you will both take regular damage. If they block, they will take 0 damage, and they will also heal themselves because the lance bounces off the pan and they can just take the opportunity to heal themselves. Can you shut the fuck up? What else is the other option? If he tries to dodge it, he'll take reduced damage, but he'll still take damage. The blasters do more damage than the bones, because there's bone damage and blaster damage. I think blaster damage is like 25 minimum, and bone damage is like 20 minimum or something, I don't know. But blasters are more powerful, and if Chara tries to stab you when you use the blasters, you will both deal extra damage to you because Chara is running straight into a blast, and that's gonna hurt really bad. But you're also getting stabbed while you're like focused on on commanding the blasters, and that's gonna hurt you too. If he shoots, then you'll do normal damage to each other. If they block, it'll bounce off the pan and hurt you. This is the only combat option where it's possible that only you will take damage, so it's a very high risk type thing. And if they dodge, they'll take reduced damage. And finally, the Bone Storm. This is the safest option. Both the knife and the gun do normal damage to both of you. The block they will take reduced damage, and the dodge they will take no damage. So it's basically like a very, very much more advanced version of rock paper scissors, I guess. So the dominant strategy I found is to use the blue attack. It's very hard to win without the blue attack because your damage output is just not good enough. Oh shit. Okay, so this is not a good start. So I got attacked with the blue. I got attacked when I used the blue attack, doing 18 damage, which is almost half my health. Then I tried to teleport away to heal, and I got shot, so I'm going to die. I healed myself by 1 HP. I'm gonna get fucked. Yeah, I'm dead. I get my ass kicked by my own creation more times than I'd like to admit. Also, before I continue on, here's a little thing. If you do not wish to have a bad time, it says, a wise choice, still a cowardly one. I will spare your life, just so you can see the world end around you. 9999. So, as it is in the original game, if you die to Chara or whatever, or if you refuse to listen to them, then they'll presumably slash at the screen and cause a billion 9s to appear, to symbolize them killing you. And also, if you type anything that is not yes or no, like fuck you, they say, a simple yes or no question is beyond you. Fine. I will take your indecision as an invitation to finish the job. Same thing happens. Okay, let's try to beat this guy this time. Let's see. Okay, good. So they defended when I used the blue attack, so I got it off for free. Now I just gotta try to spam bone attacks at them and see if it can take them down. So they healed themselves, but only by 3, so that's not much. The healing is like a random integer from 1 to 10, and you can heal yourself from a random integer from 1 to 5. So that's pretty balanced, I would say. We're both going to die, probably. Oh, shit, I got him. So, there is a custom message for if both of you die at the same time, if both of your health variables go down to 0 at the same time, which is basically like, you fade to dust, your particles swirl in the sunlight, but, you take down the fallen child with you. You are content in your final moments, that kind of thing. So, I've beaten Chara. Chara. The fallen child staggers, face contorted in disbelief, before collapsing. It is over. Or is it? Deep within your soul, you feel as if something is off. You approach the fallen child's body. They're dead, no doubt about that. Their soul floats above their body, invitingly. Will you take Andy's soul? We're going to say yes to see what happens. You close your eyes and absorb the soul into your body, feeling its power flow through you. The genocide is over. You have eliminated every last trace of Andy, even their soul. Their path of bloodshed has come to an... The shrill sound of a knife scraping across a wall forces your eyes open. Dread pools in your stomach as you stare at Andy, alive once more. Their expression is one of twisted amusement. How presumptuous! Was striking me down not sufficient for you? And you call me the megalomaniac. Your greed has granted me an avenue at eternal life. Without a human soul binding me to this world, I am free to return as much as I wish. This is not how Undertale actually works. This is like an AU or some shit. Somehow you taking Chara's soul has allowed them the power to, like, reset the timeline and shit. That's not how it works in the game, I know. But I thought it'd be cool, okay? So, for you should know that at this point I am anything but human. The battle begins anew. You have the power of a human soul, however. You should have no problem this time. You have 1,000 HP left. Andy is 100. What will you do? So now that you've taken the soul, you are OP as fuck. Let me just show you. Bam, I just killed him. You create a lance made of bone and fire it at Andy, blah blah blah. The fallen child crumples to the ground lifeless. You breathe a sigh of relief, somewhat shocked at the sheer power the human soul has granted you. Then, Andy's corpse smiles. So basically, after you there's like a boolean or like a check for if you have soul, and if has soul equals true, then it'll run the combat simulator, which is its own like little method thing. But it'll set your HP to 1,000, and it will set your bone damage and blaster damage to like a ridiculous amount. Like it's like a random variable from like 100 to 250 or something. But you can only watch in horror as Andy stands up once more. Now then, let us try once more, shall we? So yeah, he wasn't kidding about being able to come back as much as he wants. And now he has 200 HP, he used to have 100. You'll also notice that... Okay, so they tried to dodge it, so they got injured. I'm going to try to get him to attack me. So, yeah, do you see... Before he was only capable of doing, like, I don't know, 20 damage or 30 damage, right? Well, right now he just did 990 minus 779. I don't know how much that is. Like 221? 211. So every time you kill him, he becomes more powerful. He gets more HP, and his knife damage and gun damage increase significantly. So I'm going to try to kill him again, and I am slowly dying too. My health is all the way down to 227 from 1,000 already. And they healed themselves. Doesn't really matter. So, okay, this is the thing where both of us died at the same time. So I launched a storm of bones at him, and they slashed me too. So we both took damage, and it was enough to take us both out. So you strike the fallen child down once more, but you cannot continue fighting. You succumb to your injuries, the last thing you see being the haunting smile of Andy. And there's no way to win that, because every time you kill Chara when you have the soul, it just runs the while loop again and makes his health stronger and stronger. The way I did that was I had added a integer called has soul kills, and I incremented it every single time you kill them while you have the soul. And I just multiplied that number by 100 for his HP and by like 100 for his damage. So there's no way you can get out of that loop. And if you take the soul, you are doomed to die. So that's not a good choice. Let's try to choose better this time. If I can even kill him again. Let's see. Oh, I got shot already. That sucks. Let's see if I can do this. Please don't get shot. Please don't get... I got fucking shot. Oh my god. I think it is pretty nice that even though I made this, I still don't have like 100% success rate at beating it, because that kind of shows that like it's balanced, I guess? I don't know. But yeah, so I killed him again. You don't really need to read the flavor text of what's happening as long as you know like the interactions after I explained it. So anyway, I'm going to not take the child's soul this time. You turn your gaze away from the soul. The power it would grant you would be enormous, but what use would you have for it? Andy has already been slain. There is nothing left in this world to salvage. On the ground next to Andy lay 3 items: a knife, a locket, and a bar of chocolate. Which will you take? Let's take the knife. Great idea, right? You reach down and pick the knife up off the ground. Its weight in your hand feels right. Comforting, even. You observe the way the sunlight plays off of the blade, mesmerized. Dust swirls in the sunlight. Part of your brain is screaming the name of the one who that dust used to be, but you cannot listen to it. There is a voice in your head. It laughs and laughs and laughs. Or does it cry? It doesn't matter. You lift your gaze from this beautiful blade. In front of you stands the enemy. He is afraid. You were once afraid. You will enjoy this. You have 100 HP left. The enemy has 40 HP left. What will you do? So now, after you take the knife, through some magical mumbo-jumbo, you have become Kara, and you are fighting Sans. I'm sorry for switching constantly between Kara, Chera, like, whatever. I hope, oh my god. So yeah, now you have access to the slash, shoot, dodge, and block options, and the enemy will now randomly select from your previous options, which were, Blue Attack, Bone Storm, Bone Lance, Gaster Blaster, and Teleport. This battle is markedly easier than the battle against Kara, just because Kara is way stronger. Especially when you're controlling him, you can just keep on aggroing. Although I am dying. Let's try to dodge. Yeah, okay, I was able to heal. Oh yeah, so there's new flavor text because it comes from your perspective. The enemy fires his blasters at you. You stay back and shoot him. You both take damage. The interactions are the same. It's just that the text is altered to show like your perspective. I actually reverse engineered this whole battle. Like, I added a new method for the Sans battle, and I basically reverse engineered it all. So like, I replaced Kara health with player health and Kara health with Sans health. And I basically just worked through each situation and combination of options based on the original battle, and I had them have the same effect. I just changed the text. It was really fun. The enemy fires a lance of bone. You fire your gun and simultaneously you both take damage. The enemy launches a storm of bones. You both take damage. The enemy slams you onto the ground. You will be more vulnerable to bone attacks. You defend, expecting an attack. You take the opportunity to heal yourself. So I've been subjected to the blue attack, so I'm actually in trouble. If he can hit me with 2 bone attacks, I'll be a goner, so I should really just go for it. Ooh, we're both going to die, probably. So it's not as advisable to dodge or block, but there is the possibility of killing him with his own blaster, which would be a lot of fun. So you charge with the blast and slash, and you both took damage. The pain was worth it. I'm going to shoot him. You shoot at the enemy. He attempts to teleport away into the path of the bullet. You smile. No running away. The enemy cries as he fades to dust. You laugh. You enjoyed yourself quite nicely. Now to finish the job. And Kara kills you. Another bad ending. Let's see if there's any happy endings, shall we? So yeah, so far we have an infinite loop battle, we have the regular battle, and we have the battle from the enemy's perspective. That's basically there's a couple more things left that I want to show you, but oh my god, what just happened? Okay, never mind, it's fine. So, whatever, let's just try to kill him again. It does get kind of tedious when I want to show people, like, oh, that was easy. When I want to show people, like, new stuff I've added, but I have to kill Kara every single time. But whatever, so, deep within your soul, blah, blah, blah. I will not take the soul, I don't want to get stuck in an infinite loop. So we're going to take the locket this time. This is something that I haven't finished, but I do want to finish soon, because it's really cool. You reach down and pick the locket up off the ground. You open it. Inside is a picture of Andy and a monster you don't recognize. He looks like the king, but younger. You start to cry. You don't stop. It feels like an eternity before you clear your eyes and look up. You see a flower. You freeze. You recognize that flower. Somewhere, somehow. You just know. The flower turns to look at you. It has a face. You killed Andy, didn't you? There's no need to answer his question. It's as clear as day that you did. The blood is on your hands. Took your time, huh? Golly, if you'd just done that sooner, imagine how many people you would have saved. You don't reply. You know what you've done. But I guess it doesn't matter now, does it? Congratulations. You've won. Gee, you must be so proud of yourself. You clench the locket in your fist, refusing to look at the flower. The flower is silent for a moment. Before you go, just give me the locket. Please. You ask why he wants it. Something to remember Andy by. To remember me by. You stare at the picture in the locket. What will you do? Give the locket. We're gonna be nice today. You drop the locket on the floor next to the flower. It stares up at you, expression unreadable. Thank you. The flower takes the locket and disappears into the ground. You are alone once more. You stay there for a while. You don't know how long. Eventually, you stand up and leave the judgment hall. Papyrus would be proud of you. And that's the end of that route. That is basically the best ending I have right now, because, you know, you make Flowey happy, you kill Chara, Papyrus is smiling at you from beyond the grave and stuff. It's all nice. It's all good. So we're going to show off what happens if you don't give them the locket. Dialogue, 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 dialogue. Keep locket. You close the locket once more and place it in your pocket. The flower narrows its eyes. You're really on a roll today, aren't you? Well, fine. If Andy couldn't kill you, then I'll finish the job. And I'm going to make a Flowey battle. I'm not sure how it's going to work, since Flowey probably won't have many attacks. But as of right now, it's not finished, so it just runs the Kara battle again. So, nothing to see there. Let's see if I can kill this guy. Yeah, okay, so I did. Good. Anyway, there's, so the last thing that I have, the chocolate, I haven't actually coded anything for it. I have, like, a couple sentences where it's like, you take the chocolate, you bite into it, you never did, like, sweets. So, like, I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen there. Maybe the ghost of Chara comes back and, like, talks to you for a little bit, and then something happens. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just get rid of the chocolate entirely, because it doesn't really fit in with the knife and the locket. But the final option is to just leave them alone. Don't pick up anything, don't get any special endings, so. You dare not meddle with the former possessions of a sinner. There is nothing left to be done here. You walk out of the judgment hall. You have won. The genocide is over. You wipe the blood off of your hands. Tears streak down your face. If only Papyrus could see you now. And that's all I have in the project. I worked on this for like 2 or 3 days. I'm really surprised at how fast I worked on this. Yeah, I'm not a very efficient person, but like, I really enjoy working on this. So I was working on it even during like free time and stuff, just ironing out the kinks and all that. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And if you want to see my code, it's 500 something lines long, although I could probably trim out the amount of lines if I really wanted to. So right here is just like all the integers and booleans and stuff that you need for the game to run, and the strings. You got like the player name, and you got like Char's name. You have your choice if you want to fight or not, the choice to take the soul, all of that. With this all basically determines like your endings and stuff. So here's the dialogue, printing it all out. Here's you deciding if you want to fight or not. More dialogue. So basically, it runs a method called Chara Battle, which I'll scroll down to right now. There's the 9s. Let's see, where is it? So it runs this method called the Chara Battle, and the Chara Battle has it carries over the values of has soul, has locket, Chara name, etc. to see like what you put in for that in the main method up there, and like just transfers it here basically. So there's like there's all the battle related integers and strings. Like here's the array of all his attacks: knife slash, gunshot, pan block, Chara dodge. These integers and stuff. Player health is 40, all that. And if you do have the soul, you become super powerful, like I said. And here's the while loop where all the magic happens. This is like here I'm just gonna keep scrolling. All of this is all the possible combinations of like the attacks. Like let's say fight choice is 5, which is Bone Storm, and char attack equals gunshot. Then you launch a storm of bones. So I wrote out situations for all of these scenarios, and if both your health and Kara's health is above 0, the while loop will keep running. So the battle doesn't end until one of you dies, and meanwhile, if you have the soul, then the dialogue that you get for killing Kara is different, and the dialogue you get for dying is also different, and then like obviously Kara's health increases, and the knife and gun damage increase, and also the soul kills go up, as I mentioned. So basically, where is it? So depending on how you die, or if you win, it'll return a single value from 0, 1, or 2 to the main method, all the way up here. Where is up here? So depending on if you win or lose and how you lose, it'll return a number right here. So if the win-lose equals 0, then that means that you both died at the same time, so it prints out the relevant dialogue. In front of you, the fallen child meets a similar fate. You are condemned to your final moments. Yay. If you just die and they don't die, then your last thought is a papyrus and all that. If you win, though, there's this whole thing where the game continues. And the reason why you want to return the integer is that if you run a method that's not the main method, and the method ends, like it doesn't go back to the main method, I think it's kind of stupid. So I had to return an integer and check that integer to like actually get it working after the battle ends. So anyway, here's the player choice for taking the soul. Blah blah blah, more dialogue, and then if you say yes to taking the soul, it runs the Kara battle again, obviously, but this time it checks to see if you have the soul, which you do, so you get stuck in the while loop and never escape. Fun times. So if you say no, you can move on to the after fight choice, which is if you want to take the knife, the locket, or the chocolate. And if you want to take the knife, here's the dialogue, and then you'll be thrust into the sands battle method, which is all the way down here. Let me just stop. So you want to scroll all the way down here. It's past the Kara battle, so yeah. Here's the sands battle method. It's very similar to the Kara battle in terms of like, here's the variables. Here is the array, this time with Sans' attacks. Here's your player, like the player health and Sans' health are swapped. Knife damage, gun damage, bone damage, and blaster damage are mostly unchanged. I did make your damage a little weaker, so it would be a little harder, but it is meant to be not as hard as the Sans fight, as the Kara fight, to show just how powerful you are now. So, yeah. Again, here is the list of situations that can happen. So, like, let's say you choose fight choice is 3. No, let's say your fight choice is... What's a fun one? Let's say your fight choice is 4, which is block, and Sans' attack is Gaster Blaster, then the enemy fires his blasters at you, it deflects off the burnt pan and strikes him. You laugh and laugh. So there's one for every single one of these, and I reverse engineered it from the existing if statements. So that's pretty cool. And again, depending on how you win, it'll return a value. And if you do win, then let's see. Yeah, this happens, and then like Kara kills you and whatever. And let's say if you pick up the locket, there's just a bunch of dialogue, and you get to choose whether you want to give him the locket or not. And if you give him the locket, there's more dialogue. If you don't give him the locket, then it'll run the Kara battle again, and I'm in the process of working this out, because what I really want to do is have the Flowey battle be in the same method as Char's battle, because I want it to be like, you finish the Chara battle with, say, like 17 health left, you're very close to death, and then you fight Flowey with that 17 health, so it's a lot harder and it's a lot more tense. but the way my code is structured, it's going to be really hard to do that, so I'm going to have to like use my brain. But anyway, so that's not completed yet. If after fight choice equals 3, I have nothing because I have no idea what the chocolate will be for. And if after fight choice equals 4, there's just some miscellaneous dialogue about how you're sad and shit. So yeah, then here's if you put in your fight choice as no, you get killed. And if you put it as anything besides Y or N, you will also get killed. And yeah, that's my whole game. I'll play it one more time just for convenience. Open this up again. And yes. Let's see if I can kill him. Okay, no, I'm getting my ass kicked. Holy shit. It's embarrassing the amount of times I've been beaten by this thing that I've created. Okay, so we both died at the same time. Coolio, I'm happy with that. That's good enough result. So yeah, I'm going to keep working on this. It was a very nice introduction to coding. I hope you all think it's as cool as I think it is. And yeah, see you all next time. Piano covers and shit are coming soon, so look forward to that. See y'all.